Hey everyone, Vortex TCG here, and today I'm going to be showcasing you the final match of locals between two of my friends. My opponent on the left is playing Xros Heart, and the opponent on the right is playing Mervamon. And if you're looking forward to this video, please like and subscribe. Almost at 1k, might be 1k when this video goes live, but we'll see. Anyways, well, I'll keep on saying my opponent in my videos, but none of these are my opponents. The person on the left, Cross is going to swing with the Sparrow, and then Derulo. Derulo stays alive. The Eismon from the previous turn doesn't die to security, which is very unfortunate. And the Cross player decides to play Shoutmon to do some searching. So they're going to use both of their effects to gain a memory and draw a card, and then do a search. They're going to add the X5 to hand and pass the turn. Then Merva is going to swing with the Eismon again and hits a Tamer. So again, it will not die, which is very bad in this matchup because you definitely do want to get the resources available to you. And they're going to play the Psychmon. And the Psychmon is a pretty big hindrance to the Cross player this game, but we'll see how much it does. So they go into Sparrowmon in Raising, and essentially they've got to play the Derulo out again. They swing into security, hit Minerva, swing again, and then hit the Gazi. And so at this point, got to find a way to get rid of the Psychmon to do effects. So they go into the Taiki, and then they're able to add the X7 and then put the Ballista, I believe that's the blocker, underneath Zanjiro. So at this point, at 0 memory, so they play another Zanjiro, play out the blocker, and then gain 2 memory and draw a card. So still very strong. So they go into Eismon, wondering if they want to block. They decide not to block, and it dies finally to an X7. And then the opponent decides to do all the effects, able to play out the Eismon from the trash, and then get loads of draws and discards. Goes into double memory, and then is able to draw 2 and then discard 2 from the blue Mervamon. And so finally getting somewhere throughout the deck, but only at 1 security now, so it feels like it's a bit bad at this point. You're not really making any ground at this point, so it doesn't feel great. They go into Mervamon to play out the guide that allows them to get retaliation, and I think it's on deletion, it draws 1 and discards 1, so we're just checking Mervamon because I haven't actually read Mervamon at this point. They use the Trio Tamer to gain a memory and to draw a card, and I think at this point the Cross player has pretty much everything. They go into Derula, which is for a cost of 2, and they also get to draw a card, so gets rid of the problematic card for sure. And at this point I'm pretty sure they have game, just in case, well, as long as there's nothing really bad in security. So they swing, it hits a Psychmon, and they got to figure out, so they go into X7 using all the sources, so the Sparrow, the Stars, the Derulo, the Ballista, Z-Gray, Omni Shout to delete the Merva, swing for game. We then get into game 2, and the Cross player goes into Starmons and then plays the Trio Tamer to finish off their turn. The opponent then goes into Gabu, then Eismon Scatter mode, pretty much getting the perfect stack, and then goes into the purple memory boost, deciding to add the Eismon Scatter mode and pass the turn at 1. They promote the Starsmon and then gains a memory and draw a card. They swing with the Starmon, allows them to draw an additional card, and then they play a Shoutmon to finish off the turn to do some searching. Swings at security, hits a Starmon, so the Eismon doesn't die again, and they play a Psychmon. The Pikmons are then played, and then Dual Tamer draw and gain a memory for put 1 underneath. Swings at security, hits a purple memory boost, and then plays a Derulo to finish off the Psychmon. Opponent then swings with the Eismon. It does die, so they're able to get as many draws as they need. Draw 2, draw 3, discard 2, draw 2, discard 1, and then draw 1, discard 1, and then plays the Eismon from one of the discards. So pretty good. They then use one of the purple memory boosts to go into blue mirror to draw 2 and discard 2, pretty much preparing the discard for the following turn. So they discard, I believe, one of the problematic cards, and they end the turn by going to Psychmon. So pretty open board here for the cross player. They swing and both of them do die, so they're able to do that, and then they play the Derulo. A bit of a misplay, didn't suspend the Tamer to draw an additional card, which could have mattered, but at this point we're kind of at a stalemate because opponent obviously wants to play out the Psychmon, and they play out one of the, I can't remember what this guy does, but it's just a draw 1, discard 1 if it's deleted, and it has retaliation, so it also gains blocker. And then they play the Psychmon to pass turn. So you can see what the game plan is for the Merva player, just playing out the Psychmons to slow the Xros Heart player down, and it is obviously working. It's very annoying, but it is working. It's the way you have to beat Cross, unfortunately. And purple is one of the only few ways you can do it. They swing at security with the Shoutmon. They decide to block, but they still get the draw, which is very important. So security-wise, a bit rough, 2-1. Opponent has lethal on the following turn if they don't delete something, so can be quite worrying for sure. Swing with the Derulo, put it underneath. And then they play the Taiki to reveal top 4, adds one of the Tamers, and I believe a Digimon as well, puts one underneath even, and then adds the, I believe that's the Angie, and then plays the Angie to then delete the Psychmon, and then pass the turn. So hopefully not enough for the opponent to take this game following on the following turn, but they go into a Gabumon here, have a pretty decent hand at this point. And it's just a case if they can push the game. Checking discard for the targets, I would assume, and then going to play a blue Mervamon to draw 2 and discard 2. Discarding another one of those blockers and the Mervamon. Then they go into Mervamon to finish off the turn to play a Psychmon, because you could play a level 4 or lower. So continue to be annoying for the opponent. Gains a memory and draws a card from the Trio Tamer. Plays another one out to delete the Psychmon. Gets the draw 3 from the Angie, which is obviously very huge. Swing of security, it blocks, puts it underneath. And I believe at this point they're pretty much open. That's me just checking the top card because I'm pretty sure the opponent or the cross player was looking for the Ballistamon, the blocker one. They play Arigato to put one to the top of the security. So pass the turn. They promote. Have a lot of memory to play with, so it should be game from this point outward, I think. No blocker, nothing out in play, so just a case of what will happen. They go into Devimon, then they go into Skull Catamon, I believe this is. I think they play it just because it's a 2-cost Digivolution, which is actually pretty nice sometimes, I will say, especially when you don't play that many Tamers, which I don't think the Mervamon is playing. Then they go into another Mervamon, use the effect to play out another guy. I don't know if this has Rush, but they play out a Psychmon to then gain 2 memory or 1 memory. I'm not too sure if they were to play out the other guy, it would have Rush. I'm not too familiar with Mervamon, to be honest. It's a deck that I probably should try at some point. So the opponent goes into the Starsmons and just checking the sources. The Psychmon is obviously a bit of a problem because you essentially cannot get rid of it at this point. So they play the Zenjiro to finally play the Ballista, which allows it to gain a memory and draw 3, which is kind of insane. And they play another one to do the same, giving them 2 memory. So it should be game at this point. They can get through. They could probably get through both of the blockers at this point. So it's just a case. They'll go into the Eyes-Mon scatter mode. They'll swing at security. They'll block. They'll draw 3, discard 2, and then draw 2 and discard 1. They discard a Nidhogg, so they gain a memory. Pretty cool. But one of the blockers is now down. Swings again, allows it to go through, plays a Taiki, is able to get the X7 and then put, I believe that was a Sparamon underneath. Then plays a Deathclaw to delete the final blocker, and this should wrap the game up. Had to draw the last remaining cards, and then swings for game. We then get into the final round, final game, and they play a Starsmon, they go into Sparamon in play. The opponent then goes into Ignite into Eismon, and then plays an Ignite in response. They then play a Taiki, able to get, I believe they will get the Sparrow underneath, and then add the X7, and then pass the turn. Swings up Security, and is able to play the Angie. Delete in the Ignite, then Deathclaws away one of the guys, the Starmon, and then plays a purple memory boost to end the turn, and then adds the Psychmon, because obviously Psychmon's pretty good. Swings 2 times, one's an Ignite and one's a purple memory boost, so the opponent on the following turn has quite a lot to go through, to say the least, memory-wise. Should be able to get into full combo, I think. Then they go into Taiki to then Sparrow, Star, Doral, to go into an X7, which allows them to draw a card from the Angie, and then is able, I don't think it does anything, I think it's just a big guy essentially, because there's nothing on the field. Then they go, opponent goes into the level 5 here, still has loads of memory pretty much set up, pops the memory, goes into Minerva in Raising, and then plays the Psychmon to pass turn. A little bit late, but it is what it is. They swing at Security for 2 checks, swing with the Sparamon, it lives, so they just got to find a way to finish off the game here essentially. So they go into Zenjiro. They don't have the Ballistamon here, so they swing into, I believe, the Security here, and they call for the Darkness, which allows them to add 2 guys from the trash. Goes into, I believe they play the Merva and the Ignite here. I believe that's what they're adding here. I'm a little bit confused, I'm not going to lie, but it is what it is. So I think this would be, as it's Digi-crossed, I don't think that should have happened, because I'm pretty sure, oh no, it's the Minerva effect, my bad, I'm a bit confused here. I cannot lie, but it is what it is. They swing into Security, well, to finish off the game with the Shoutmon, but they have to block. Then they go again. Believe that's supposed to be suspended, I'm pretty sure. So a little bit confusing here. Swings at Security, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be suspended. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be suspended. Deletes one of the Psychmons, still has a turn left, and then plays an Arigato to delete one and then set one to Security. So at this point, I think they're checking the discard here. I think that should have been game anyways, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but either way. It continues, so they go into this guy that allows them to just retaliation, then blue mirror to draw 2, discard 2, and I think at this point the game's getting dangerously close to time, which is a bit of a problem for both players, because obviously I think the Xros Heart player is definitely in the lead for sure. And then they go into Merva to then use its effect, which allows them to play the Psychmon to gain a memory, and then uses goes to Gazi. So goes into the Sparrow, swings at security. It dies obviously. Swing, blocks. And I think at this point time was called, so the game ends in a draw.